film is directed by James Hawes. In the film stars Rami Malek, Rachel Brosnahan, Caitríona, Holt McCallany, LaurenceFishburne. Now, the plot of the film is centered around Malek's character, Charlie Heller. He is a brilliant CIA decoder whose world comes crashing down when he learns that his wife was killed in a terrorist attack. And he figures and sees that the CIA isn't doing enough, so he basically turns into a vigilante and takes matters into his own hands, and he wants to get revenge and seek revenge on the 4 individuals that killed his wife. Now, going into this movie, at least from the advertisement and from the trailers, it will come off as a straightforward revenge film, but this movie is a little bit more than that. Our main character that the film is revolved around, Charlie, see that he is a loving husband. He's a person that enjoys the work that he does with the CIA as a decoder and other things he do for the CIA. But when he learns that his wife is killed over taking a trip over to London, you know, his world comes crashing down, and he's just trying to figure out what to do because he wants to have justice for his wife. And he approaches his superiors at the CIA, and he feels like they're not doing enough, so he does a bold move and take it upon himself to blackmail his superiors with information that he has that they don't want to get out. And in exchange for him not to expose them for what they've done, he wants to be trained, or at least he wants enough basic training for field operative work so he can go seek the people that killed his wife. And one of the interesting things how they approach this film is with his character, since he's basically like an IT guy who works for the CIA. He has no training, he's not a big guy, he's not intimidating, so nobody takes him serious. So even with his superiors, they just allow him to do this, but they also are trying to undermine him at the same time. And this is where Lawrence Fishburne's character comes into play. His superiors ask him to train him just enough where they figure that he would quit and he would just go back to his desk job and just kind of bury this whole situation from even happening, but that does not happen. And Laurence Fishburne's character trains him, and he is basically telling him he's not fit for this and he's not going to survive. But little does he know that Charlie has kind of made a grand scheme of how to maneuver his way through everything, where he just gets enough training that he needs to go off and go on his revenge tour. Now, one of the things that I touched on about one of the things that, you know, surprised me about the film was kind of more of the themes that they touch on in this film about dealing with grief, the loss of a loved one, revenge. If you could really, even if you had the opportunity to get revenge, would you be able to take it? There are some really good scenes and conversations that Malek and Fishburne's character have about even taking a life, and even after he does it, you know, basically like what will it, solve. Another thing with Charlie's character, which I like, which they do, is we know as the audience member that he's not really fit for this type of line of work. And I'm glad they did a good job of showing it throughout the film, because he's not that strong, he's not good with firearms, but he makes all that up with his intelligence, decoding. He's good with computers. Like I said, he's good with his intellect, and he also learns how to make bombs and things of that nature. So it makes up for the deficiencies that he has while he's on his quest for. Now, when he goes after his first target, you see how nervous he is, and he really doesn't have everything planned out like he thinks he does. But as he goes through each person, you see the progression with his character, and it is a good build up to when he finally does get to the last person. Now, Caitríona Balfe's character, she is a individual that is helping him along the way, and then their stories kind of have a parallel with each other, because they both are kind of going through the same situations. I'm not going to really spoil too much about that, but it is cool seeing their dynamic of how they work together, and they have a lot of shared experience in how they're basically on the same path doing the same thing. And as a spy thriller, I thought the film worked pretty well, especially going around location to location with the set pieces they have, and seeing Charlie's character of how with the different ways that he uses the skill sets that he has to get in and out of situations. But that's also kind of one of the problems I do have with the movie, because for all the character development that they have with him that I like seeing, and you see basically how he struggles being out in the field. One of the issues I have is with him being a decoder for the CIA, and I understand he's skilled with a computer and with technology, but I feel like they kind of go overboard with some of the techniques and some of the stuff that he's doing. Because I mean, I don't work for the CIA. I don't know how a lot of this stuff works with technology, AI, and some of the things that he was doing throughout the film, but I just felt like he always had some type of solution, or he was always 2 or 3 steps ahead. And even though he got caught in certain situations, but I felt like it was always some type of solution for him to get out of. Oh, and speaking of just the things I didn't really care for, I forgot to mention Jon Bernthal. He is in the film. His character earlier, he works for the CIA as well, and he's a field agent. And him and Charlie's character had an interaction earlier where they kind of basically you see like he's kind of like, I guess, like the jock, and he's the nerd, and they have an interaction, but they have a interaction in when they're out, and it was a good interaction and a good conversation, basically just saying how, even though he's surprised he made it as far as he did with everything that he's doing, since everybody doubted him, but he was really worried and concerned for his safety, and was trying to get him out of the situation. And I was kind of wishing that he was in the film a little bit more. He's only in the movie for about 2 or 3 scenes, and I kind of wish he was in the movie a little bit more. And there wasn't really as many, big action set pieces. Probably the biggest set piece they show in the trailer with the pool scene on the roof. It's a cool scene because you see Charlie use his brain of basically how to take out the people that he's trying to get to without actually physically have to kill them. It's like he puts them in these situations where he doesn't want to kill them per se, but everything that he's doing is basically going to end their lives. It's kind of like if they were in saw traps to a certain extent. But I do wish it was just a little bit more action and a little bit more set pieces throughout the film. But overall, with everything, I thought this was a solid spy espionage film. I know it's marketed as a revenge film, which it is, but the film does have a message about taking revenge, taking matters into your own hands, and just like I said, about grief and trying to get over tragic situations. But overall, like I said, I think this was a good film. You know, not the best spy movie that you would ever watch, but you know, it was entertaining enough. And let me know how you guys felt about the film. Leave a comment and let me know what your thoughts are of it. And once again, thank you for listening to my review. Thank you for coming to the channel. If you guys like the reviews, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'm gonna be bringing you more reviews. And you guys have a good one.